Hey folks, welcome back to the show. This is your host, Ryan Kennedy, and today I'm talking about how to eat and tips and strategies that get overlooked all the freaking time. Everyone's talking about when to eat, different intermittent fasting strategies and meal timing, which I've done an episode on before, and it's certainly important. And a lot of people talk about what to eat. That's the biggest talk on nutrition is different diet plans and what foods to eat versus avoid. And this is also critical, but there's not enough discussion or awareness on how to eat. And you may be listening to this thinking like, dude, everyone knows how to eat. You put food in your mouth, you chew, you swallow. It's not rocket science. I mean, what's there to discuss? Well, hear me out. Many people I've worked with in my clinical practice who experienced digestive issues saw massive improvements by implementing the tips and strategies I'm going to cover in this episode. And while some of these strategies may seem simple, trust me, folks, makes a big difference. And one of the reasons many people are struggling with digestion is because they're in a state of stress, the sympathetic nervous system state during their meals. And you really have to calm down your body and drop into this parasympathetic rest and digest meal state prior to meals, which makes a massive difference in your body's ability to break down food and also increases your production of stomach acid and digestive enzymes. It even impacts the trillions of bacteria in your microbiome. And this is huge if you want to get the most nutrients out of your food, but also if you want to avoid different digestive challenges like bloating, gas, abdominal discomfort, feeling lethargic or tired after you eat, getting brain fog, number of things, that really starts with how you're putting the food into your body. So first thing I love to do prior to eating meals when I sit down, because I'm just like, a lot of people, I get jazzed up during the day. I'm on consults, I'm working on my business, I'm exercising, I'm doing all these things that certainly can be, very excitatory to your nervous system. So when I sit down to eat, I like to do 6 deep diaphragmatic breaths. And so in through the nose for 3 or 4 seconds, brief hold at the top, and then a long exhale for 6 to 8 seconds. By doubling the length of exhale versus inhale, you're helping to lower blood pressure, lower resting heart rate, literally calm down the nervous system. And a study out of Japan showed as few as 6 of these deep breaths was enough to elicit this response and these benefits. And so while you're doing these deep nasal breaths, you can say a little gratitude, a little prayer. You can just sit with your thoughts. And this is, we're talking 1 minute, maybe 60, 70 seconds worth of deep breathing. And that's just going to help to calm down the body before you dive into your food. So that's huge. And what goes hand in hand with this is avoid standing, walking, moving around, driving while you eat. A lot of people are driving in the car while they're mowing down a freaking burrito. It's like, not only is that pretty sketchy from a safety standpoint, but it's definitely not the best way to eat for your digestion. So sit down, relax, get comfortable. And the next point I bring up, I'm sure you've heard about, but I always have to remind myself of this and makes a massive difference is don't rush through your meals. Chew your food super thoroughly. And there's people out there that'll say chew X number of times. I think that's crazy. Who the hell is going to count how many times they're chewing? But what I tell people is just chew extra, just more than you normally would. And that's going to elicit a very, very helpful benefit to your digestive system, your gut, because chewing, mastication, is the first stage of digestion. We have all these salivary enzymes. When we chew and properly break down our food, it massively reduces the amount of work our stomach has to do. So you're taking a lot of burden off your gut. And for a lot of people that have either compromised digestion or maybe you don't, but you just don't want to have to put extra work on your stomach, this makes a world of difference. So take your sweet time, chew your food. Not only will it help your benefit, your health from this, all the benefits I'm talking about, but it's also going to help you to savor and enjoy your meals. Mealtime is sacred, and it's really a primal experience that is enjoyable. I don't know about you, but I freaking love eating. And if you could prolong that experience and get the most out of it, why wouldn't you? Next up on my list of strategies is to try and avoid work, especially any stressful phone calls, emails, things of that nature. And rather than doing those things, you can enjoy good conversation with people in your life. You can, if you're alone, you can listen to a podcast or an audiobook, or even just sit with your own thoughts. A lot of people don't advise, watching TV while you eat. I think it's perfectly fine. If you want to put on one of your favorite shows and relax and enjoy some TV while you enjoy your dinner, I think that's perfectly cool. No problem with that. Now, I do think having good conversation with friends or family is even better, but by all means, put on a good Netflix show while you eat, much better than catching up on work emails or talking on the phone, especially if it's not a peaceful and relaxing conversation. Now, this next point is huge. And this is something I did for a long time, the wrong way, that really used to aggravate my digestive system. And it's avoid drinking a bunch of water before, like 20 to 30 minutes before your meals, during, and up to about an hour after you eat. The reason for this is it'll dilute your stomach acid and enzymes. And so it'll actually impair your digestion and your gut's ability to break down your food. Now, a small amount of water is okay, if you have a few sips, but I'd keep it to less than 8 ounces of water. And I used to drink a bunch of water during my meals. Never knew this. And I always feel like my gut was kind of distended and would get a little bloating. And when I stopped drinking water, started applying some of these principles, all that stuff vanished literally immediately. So this can make a big difference for some people. And then as we wrap up, I'm a big proponent of some sort of gratitude or prayer practice. The act of expressing thanks for your food you're about to eat has been scientifically proven to improve your digestion and improve the benefits from your nutrition. Dr. Joe Dispenza has done a lot of work around this. And even if you're eating an unhealthy meal, if you come at it from a state of gratitude and actually embody, kind of the mindset that this is going to be nourishing, your body can tolerate it just fine, and you're going to get a lot of good things out of it, it'll be far less damaging than if you go into it like in this state of guilt and negativity, and you're already anticipating feeling bad, and you're already kind of bringing about these psychological components of that damage and further accelerate the damage of the food. Now, obviously, we want to be eating healthy food, but regardless of what food you're eating, taking a moment just to express some gratitude and realize how many millions of people would kill to be eating the meal you're about to consume, and how many people go hungry every day, and what a luxury it is to have access to good food. It makes a world of difference, and it doesn't take a long time. You can just do it while you're doing those deep diaphragmatic breaths. That's what I like to do. And you could also say a prayer. It could be a religious prayer, it could be a spiritual prayer. A little prayer I say before some of my meals that I learned from one of my mentors, Paul Chek. Real simple. Thank you, dear food, for the love you're giving me now. Thank you for the love you've given Mother Earth and the universe. It is with great love and respect that I let you into my body. I invite you to join me now in body, mind, and spirit, so that together we can make the world a better place. Aho. And last thing on my list, go for a short walk after meals. 10 to 20 minutes. Longer is great, but not required. But carve out time to move. So the thing you want to avoid is eating and then just sitting on your butt. By doing some sort of movement, it could be a walk, it could be some chores around the house, it could be a bike ride, it could be all sorts of things. I wouldn't do anything too intense because you don't want to impair digestion with a full stomach, but any type of movement, it's going to help level out your blood sugar levels after that meal. It's going to help maintain good energy and mental clarity. It's going to help with digestion and actually breaking down the food. There's tons of benefits. So aim to carve out a little time, at least 10 minutes, but as long as you'd like, to do some sort of movement, and then you can, go back to your desk or go back to a seated position if that's, something that you're needing to do for work and whatnot. I hope you found these tips helpful. Please share this along to someone in your life you think it could benefit from this information, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you found it helpful, please share it along to anyone else you believe it can serve. You can submit your own question to be answered on the show by going to ryankennedyhealth.com/podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review for the show. Your feedback helps to support me on my mission to positively impact as many people as possible with this information. Please note, the information depicted in this episode is purely for informational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare professional before making any changes to your lifestyle or routine.